This conference will now be recorded.
5 seconds. You're live.
All right. Good evening, everyone. This is the March 13, 2024 meeting of the Arbor Conservation Commission. This meeting is being operated as a hybrid format under Chapter 22 of the Acts of 2022. The public can join the meeting remotely by dialing, using your telephone or cell phone, 408-650-3123, and then using access code 942-845-5449, or you can join via computer at global.gotomeeting.com/join/942-845-549. So supporting materials for tonight's meeting are available on the town's website, and they've been distributed to the commission. The public is encouraged to follow along using our posted agenda. My name is Michael Garland. I'm chairman of the Conservation Commission. And before we begin, let me do a roll call of persons attending tonight's meeting. Tom Fallon.
Here.
Michelle Koros.
Here.
Megan Langley.
Here.
And Jesse Averka.
Here.
Okay. Please note this meeting is being recorded, probably for posterity, by Arbor Cable Television. And if anyone is participating remotely tonight, we'll find out. Having said that, the first item on tonight's agenda is the 7 o'clock public hearing, Crocker Design Group, a notice of intent for property at 735 Southbridge Street. They had requested a continuance to our next meeting on March 27th. Is there a motion?
Yeah, sure. So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote. So that meeting for Crocker Design Group will be continued to March 27th at 7 p.m. And then the 7:05 public hearing, Brian McAvoy, a notice of intent for property at 400 Southbridge Street. The applicant would also request to continue the public hearing to our next meeting on March 27th. Is there a motion? Continue.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, it's a vote. Okay, so that meeting will be continued to March 27th at 7:05 p.m. Okay. It's going to, since we just took care of that in about a minute, we have some other business before we can reach the 7:10 public hearing. For other business, there's a notation here, Fuller Snow Storage on South Street. Now, I know in the past that had been an issue. My memory is that there ain't no snow currently.
No.
Has there been an issue, or was there an issue during January or February?
There was, yeah, I believe you guys have pictures, and I have them online too, so I'll pull them up.
Okay.
But I had gone out, I know I have the exact date right here. I want to say it was maybe February 16th. Yeah. February 16th, and I went out to, I know it's the same property that you guys have probably been to in the past.
We have.
And, I mean, with snow on the ground, also, I'm no expert in delineating wetlands, so I don't know exactly where they begin.
Okay.
But you can see that, you know, from looking at the pictures from the prior complaints and enforcement orders that have been issued, I think this was, you know, the general area where they had been storing it.
Okay.
And
And we have told them, I think on at least 2 occasions, not to do that.
yeah, you're right. I believe, so there was an enforcement order that I found from over a decade ago where that was going on. Then another one from 2019 and another one from 2022.
Okay, so it seems to be
a recurring issue.
a recurring issue, as you pointed out. Well, I think clearly it's probably a moot issue now because there's no snow on the ground. But I think sending them a letter reminding them not to do it is probably in order. So is there a motion to send them a letter?
Make a
along those
motion,
lines?
we send the property owner a letter.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, it's vote. Okay. I will draft something up. Also, for 15 St. Mark Street, as you will recall, we had sent a letter to the owner requesting that he remove 2 couches that apparently were wrapped in plastic that were on the bank, sort of on the hill going down toward the wetland. It's my understanding that the property owner has in fact removed them.
Yes, they are removed.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
So, in that case, is there a motion to dissolve the enforcement order for the owner of 15 St. Mark Street?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? It's a vote. Okay, so we'll dissolve the enforcement order. Okay. And I have 5 past 7. Let's do the meeting minutes. So for the meeting minutes of February 14th.
It says the 28th at the top.
Well, we have 2 sets.
Okay.
So
I know there was an issue with, I thought we had already voted on one where I'd had the wrong date at the top, but it was
So-
does one say the 14th and one say the 28th, or do they both say the 28th?
Well, I'm gonna just say that if this one is
Well,
the,
they are different. Michelle, you were present at the meeting on the 14th, but not on the 28th.
and then it says that
And I think the
you
reason,
made a motion and that I seconded the motion on the 28th and I wasn't here.
well, the meeting minutes I'm looking at for the 28th says that you were absent, so, and for the 14th, it says you were present.
Right.
So you, what,
So the one for the 28th, it has that she voted on something, but she was absent.
Yeah.
all right, hold on.
On the back.
Oh,
of the page.
I see it, actually, it's on the front. So I think, I think we have to defer action on the meeting minutes for the 28th. Well, when we do this, why don't we do the 14th first? Because you were present for that meeting. And do you have those meeting minutes? Okay.
I think they would be the last thing if, in the stack. I think they might be back here under all the other good
Under
stuff.
all
I
the-
try to put them like in order of what's on
And
the
then I
agenda.
mess it all up because I go through.
Well,
all
there's a
and mess
million things
everything
to
up.
look through, you know.
I have January 10th stuff, so there's that, so let's see.
Okay.
Let's go through all this stuff.
I can pull them up on
No, it's
on
okay.
here if you want to look through
Oh,
them there.
oh, fine. You went through all the effort getting me a pen. Let me see what I can do. Hold on. Oh, here they are. Hold on.
Okay. So I have no changes to the meeting minutes of February 14th.
Move to accept the meeting minutes for February 14th.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Same.
Okay, it's a vote. And then actually for the meeting minutes of the 28th, I think we can infer that since there were only 3 of us at that meeting, and you were not present, that it was probably Megan
Megan,
that
right.
seconded the motion.
Mhm.
So why don't we, let's go through them, and if that's the only change that needs to be made, I think we can act on these.
kind of, because the back page.
Right, so I would accept a motion to confirm the meeting minutes of February 28th with the change that for the 7 PM public hearing for Crocker Design Group, Megan's name is substituted for Michelle's name. So will someone make a motion to that effect, and will there be a second?
Yep. It's also on the second page on the back one as well.
Yeah. I saw that too.
Oh, okay. And with the change, that was in connection with the 7 to 5 public hearing for 400 South First Street.
Make a motion, we accept these meeting minutes as amended.
Is there a second? Megan?
Oh. Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Abstain.
Abstention. Okay, it's a vote.
So,
All right, the next matter on our agenda is 710 public hearing. Eversource Energy, a determination of applicability for property at 404 Oxford Street North for the installation of a new natural gas pipe service. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All right, is there someone here on behalf of Eversource Energy?
I'm the owner of the property.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, sir, can you step up and tell us your name and what the project is all about?
Sure, George Markopoulos.
Why don't you come on up, George?
George Markopoulos. We own the property over at 404 Oxford Street. It is a 6-unit building. What we're trying to accomplish is a new gas line that it will impede in the 100-foot buffer zone. We are looking to get approval for the gas line for all 6 units.
Okay. Just give me a moment.
Sure.
Oh, I remember this.
Is this the, right near the,
Ice skate rink?
Cross.
oh, the ice
Yeah,
skating
police
rink.
station, ice skating rink, yep.
Okay, all right,
Mhm.
okay. I go by there all the time.
Yep.
So do you know how close to the wetlands the new service is going to be installed?
Well, it won't impede in any of the 25-foot buffer, but
What
this-
about the 100-foot buffer?
it will be in the 100-foot buffer.
Okay.
Yep, that's why we're here.
I understand.
Yep.
So what do you propose to do in terms of erosion control measures, or just making sure that none of the excavation ends up in the wetland?
Well, it's not close to the, it's not, all the excavation that we do won't be anywhere close to the wetland. It's far beyond that.
Okay,
So it's just impeding within a few feet. I would call it within 25 feet of the 100 feet.
right,
So we already have siltation control all around boundaries.
okay.
So we won't have any issues with any of our excavation, impeding in that.
How deep will the pipe be installed?
2 feet.
Just 2 feet?
Yep.
And how big is the service?
I believe they are running it should be in the narrative.
Okay,
If it's not, then I can pull it up.
okay. And yeah, road before
It might be a 2-inch line. I can look right now. Let me see. I apologize about that.
Yeah, that's all right.
2 feet deep.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it's
say
two-
what the diameter of the
It's
pipe
1 to
is,
2
though.
feet wide.
Yeah, it's 2 feet
approximately
deep
2
if
to
you
3
do it.
feet.
That's the trench.
4-inch main extension. Yeah, I believe it's between a 2 and 4-inch line.
And then obviously the trench will be backfilled.
Correct. Yep.
And
Sand
then,
and backfill.
and you're gonna plant any grass there, or what's gonna be
Yes,
done?
it's going to be all sod all the way across the back line.
Okay.
Yep.
And when do you propose to start work?
They'll be the last utility installed, so we think within 60 days they'll be there. We have electrical going in, and then in the front, and then we have the gas line coming right after.
Okay. I have no other questions.
So I'm just confused on here because it shows, okay, this dotted line
Yes,
is the 100,
correct.
and it shows this going past that. So how are you not working into the 100-foot?
Well, the house is situated right here. We have a 25-foot buffer from the actual wetland. Again, I'm not a conservation expert.
No,
or
that's
either.
fine. I
The
thought
hou-
you said at first that, I thought you said you were 25, you would only be working 25 feet away from the 100-foot buffer.
Correct.
You mean on the outside of the wetland or in, like,
Well, I mean, the property is right, this is basically where we right here. This is the property right here.
okay,
Okay, so we're just running, this is the line, so this is where the 100 starts.
yeah,
Yeah, so we're just impeding into that 100, not far in.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I was just trying to clarify that you are excavating inside the 100 though, 'cause
And that's what gives us jurisdiction.
right. Something you said made it sound like
I may have,
that you
again,
didn't go inside.
no,
You
we
were
are, no, that's why we're here,
excavating
we are inside the 100. I'm saying we're not,
Okay,
I don't want to misspeak either.
that's
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Tom, any questions, Tom?
Nope.
Okay, there being none, then, is there a motion to close?
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, it's a vote. All right.
So to get the information over Eversource, obviously as the approval, is there a process? Do we just get something from you guys saying?
What will happen is that, in all likelihood, we will take a vote on whether or not to grant the,
Is that a bigger map? I'm sorry. Which
That's
one is
not-
this?
that's
Oh,
not- that's
no.
not-
Oh, okay, I was gonna say. All right, okay.
yeah, so you'll hear from us.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Yeah, I'll
guys.
be,
Thank
I'll
you.
get-
Yeah,
I'll shoot you an
communicate with
email.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
we can
Appreciate it.
forward
Have a
Thanks.
good night.
You're welcome. And then we've saved the best for last. So I understand you're here for 50 and 190 Washington Street, correct?
Yes. Just to give the commission an update based on probably the letter from DPW.
Yeah, just introduce yourself.
Yep, Travis Brown with Turning Point Engineering. We're representing the applicant Eastland Partners. So this is for Lot 1 of the subdivision that was previously approved.
Okay,
There's been multiple orders of conditions on this
Here's a
site,
copy.
starting from the pad-ready plan originally
Yeah,
to
sure.
the subdivision, and then to the development of the two lots in the rear.
right, oh yeah, we're very
Yeah.
familiar with the property.
So that lot in the rear has since been sold. DPW reissued a letter taking that off of Eastland because that's no longer their responsibility.
Okay,
So the lot that we're talking about is probably the one you folks drive by out on Route 20.
correct.
So there's a bunch of stockpiles. There was a letter written by DPW and obviously the enforcement order that you folks issued. Since that letter, the applicant Phil Caraccio from Eastland met DPW out there. Eastland has responded quickly in cleaning up some areas, mainly the swale. There's a swale that conveys runoff down in this location into the existing stormwater basin. That basin is in relatively good shape, although it does need to be cleaned out. The check dam here will be installed, that is not currently installed. There is existing riprap slope here. They're actively working today to bring that riprap slope up here, maintain those steeper slopes. They have lined up erosion control to reinstall the erosion control here and here. It's been a while since that's been in. Needs to be torn out, new install of erosion control. In addition to that, they're gonna do an extra erosion control straw wattle silt fence at the toe of that slope to further protect that basin. And then further extra measure would just be a straw wattle at the top, 12-inch straw wattle laid at the top of that slope. Any runoff would be maintained there, in addition to 3 temporary sediment traps in that location. And then the way they access this site, this is the paved subdivision road. So they come in here and then come up this way to keep sediment and debris from getting onto that, providing a tracking pad that will be installed in that location. I do have some photos of the work I swung by today, just to kind of get you up to speed. I know it's, probably haven't seen it since the work's been happening. This is the slope in the rear, existing stabilized slope, so that's in this location. They are adding that here. They put Marafi fabric on that slope, placing those, that riprap over it. In addition, the silt sacks were pretty full in that subdivision. They've all been replaced at this point. And then this is the work in the swale that they're putting Marafi, then this is called jute mat, so it's to stabilize that. What they're doing is 2 layers of straw wattle and a check dam behind it, so they're creating these little pools as it comes down to slow it, settle out to sediment. So the bulk of that work has been done. And then there's another one just of the swale, and that's the slope that they were placing the riprap on. So they've acted quickly. They've got things under control. Additional erosion control measures are being scheduled, so.
So when do you think they'll all be installed?
From my understanding, at some point next week.
Okay. So first of all, I'm going to ask for a motion to ratify my enforcement order from last week. So if one of you would be kind enough to do that. Or not.
Which is our, what's like the date on it?
Do you recall the date that we issued the enforcement order?
I was
Actually, I have the original copy over here.
Is that like last Wednesday or Thursday? Or maybe even Tuesday?
The 5th.
Okay, so it was actually last Tuesday.
I'll move to ratify.
Thank you.
Yes.
If you want to see a copy of it, Megan, I have the original one right here.
Oh, that's fine, I was just trying to figure out what it's.
Is there a second?
Yeah, sure.
I'll second that. Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Okay. My suggestion would be that we continue the hearing on the enforcement order till our next meeting on March 27th. And then between now and then, we'll get out to the site, check on the progress of the remedial measures, and then at that point, we can, vote, hopefully vote to just dissolve the enforcement order at that time,
Okay.
if that's agreeable to you.
That is agreeable. I guess what I would say is, on this property, we went to the planning board last year for a site plan that did receive approval, but the applicant was in no hurry to be able to do that work.
Okay,
That's probably coming up,
okay,
so we intend to file a new notice of intent for the work on that property.
terrific. When do you think that's gonna be?
I would anticipate within the next month that we would file that,
Great,
probably sooner than that.
yeah, because I'm getting tired of looking at this piles.
Yeah, as am I, and we've told them numerous times,
Sure.
it's in plain sight, everybody sees it, it looks like a bomb went off the speaker.
Perfect. All right, well, thanks for coming in, we appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Anderson, are you here for any specific matter?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, sir.
Hey, what's up? I'm new to Auburn. Just kind of like to get involved with local government, like public hearings and stuff in my local areas, like where I'm from. I used to do that a lot.
Okay,
So like I wanted to see like I'm all about conservation because like I'm kind of like an outdoorsman, like I like to ride bikes, I like to be out camping, I like to shred the gnar, like go snowboarding, I like to just like kind of get out there, walk the trails, like how do I get involved in like conserving the local
well,
community?
what you can do is you can actually come to the town hall, fill out an application, and there are, besides the Conservation Commission, there are other boards, and if you are interested in serving on our board, I think an interview would be scheduled, and then we would go from there.
Cool.
Okay?
You said where do I pick up?
It's the town, it's
Is it
104 Central
physical?
Street in Auburn. That's the town hall.
Is the town? I haven't been to. Well, I've been down, but I haven't seen I haven't been inside the town hall.
Okay, so what you do is it would be,
Yeah, so if you're interested in dropping by on Mondays, that's our late days. We're open from 8 until 7. Tuesday through Thursday, we work from 8 until 4, and then on Friday from 8 until 1 p.m. So, doors are always open. You're more than welcome to come in, and you can find me upstairs if you're interested in the Conservation Commission in particular, or, you can walk in anywhere and just say you're looking to, get information on maybe joining one of our boards, and I'm sure anyone would be happy to help you and point you in the right direction.
They're like a volunteer.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so, yeah, that's the best way to
Do you
proceed.
guys drug test?
I'm sorry, say again?
Do you guys drug test to be in it?
I didn't understand that.
Can't hear you.
I think he asked if we drug test. I don't believe that we do.
Not, it's a volunteer board,
Yeah.
we don't.
No.
Okay?
Yeah.
That was all. That was all.
Okay, well, thanks for signing in, and, you know, again, we encourage volunteers, and so feel free to stop by the town hall and fill out an application. Okay? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good
All
night,
right,
Cody.
take care. Anyway, for Eversource Energy, is there a motion?
Make a motion, we issue a negative determination.
Is there a second?
I'll second that. I've been by there a whole bunch of times, and we went and stopped and looked at it. It's clean there. They
Yeah.
make sure that there's erosion barriers are up all the time. And I've kind of stopped and looked at it just on my way by a few times.
Perfect.
It's clean all of the time,
Okay,
so.
so there's a motion, there's a second?
Second, sorry.
That's okay.
I had to just
No,
throw
it's all
that
right.
in there.
Thanks, no, the narrative
Yeah,
was helpful.
okay, all right, good. Yeah.
If there's no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? It's a vote. All right. Is there any other new business?
I do just have, I gave Michael a copy earlier, but I have copies of these. They're just work notifications, like similar to, I think one's from Grid and then one's from this Coneco. They're doing utility pole maintenance, replacing some poles, so just give you guys copies of those in case you want to hold on to them.
Terrific.
Does Tom
That's
need
it.
one?
I'm sorry, what was it?
I didn't know if
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
here.
thank you.
Oh, yeah, I could.
Okay, is there any other new business?
See something in the packet for 17 Newton Street about paint.
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that.
So what happened is that apparently, thanks for reminding us, someone apparently they either hired a contractor or they were doing the painting themselves, and they decided to pour what remnants there were of the paint down the sewer drain.
Are you kidding me?
And no, and so, I forget, I think maybe it was Emma who got wind of it.
I believe you guys got a
Yeah.
copy of the report.
We did.
Yep.
But I have that here too. And yeah, I think that was also DPW who, they took pictures, I can show those to you guys, and they sent them this letter letting them know that, obviously that's not something that's,
So, I think, my understanding is that what was done has been done. The engineering division actually did their own site visit back on March 6th. I think the homeowner's been put on notice that they can't do that. So, and I think I don't anticipate it's going to be an ongoing problem. When I heard about this, I wondered whether there would be any point in issuing our own enforcement order, because again, first of all, the town had gotten notice of it, and they had taken, I think, very prompt action when they were notified. So I think there's nothing at this point that we need to do. Obviously, if it happens again, then we can consider maybe an enforcement order at that time.
sorry, what was the action that the town actually, did they fine them or did
They didn't fine them. I think they just warned them that you can't pour paint down a sewer.
I mean,
Now,
if
you would-
you can't get fined for that, what do you get fined for?
I don't know.
Well, we have, actually, the one and only time that the Conservation Commission has fined someone was when there was repeated
Did he pay?
disregard. He did. There was repeated disregard of an enforcement order. This is going back probably now at least 7 or 8 years, I think. But it did work. I mean, there was a penalty. I think they took an appeal to the district court, and there was a settlement worked out where money was paid. So, I take your point, and I think, again, it's something, they talk about potential penalties. So, I think maybe the difference here is there's maybe willful conduct, and there is negligent or innocent misconduct. And there is a distinction. I know you're scoffing, but I understand. And to be
I
honest with
really
you,
don't like the fence across the street from me. Can I just go knock that down? Because, oh, actually, don't answer the question because.
Was this like, so,
Because
So
it's a beg
it
forgiveness
says
kind of
here if
situation
you're-
here, isn't it?
I mean, that's apples and oranges.
Okay.
It does list the potential penalties. Any person who violates any provisions of these regulations may be punished by a fine of not more than $300
But
each.
now this is under the stormwater management regs. Those are not our regulations, and so I don't think we have the authority to.
Yeah, that's outside
yeah.
of our.
and that
Outside
doesn't,
jurisdiction.
it doesn't discharge like directly into a.
Oh,
No, it does.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
To Leesville
Well,
Pond.
then
Yeah, you
wouldn't
can
that
see
be
right
in our?
if you
here.
look
To
at the,
Leesville Pond?
Yeah.
if you look at the photo 3, you can see the paint
Yeah.
from
Washing out.
the outfall. You know, my belief is that we're probably talking about, I mean, what does paint come in, 1 gallon cans? I feel,
Typically, yeah.
yeah. You know, so I think we're talking about a relatively small amount of paint, which is not to
Yeah, I was
excuse,
just gonna say.
excuse the conduct, you know? Do you want to send them a nasty letter?
Yeah.
I feel like this is just so blatant that, I
Mhm.
mean, I'm having trouble, I feel like we need to, even if we don't find them, we need to add our,
Like, yeah,
it's just so blatant.
Okay, so
I have to agree with
would you
Megan.
like to put that in the form of a motion?
Well, okay, I guess I'm just, so if we're not doing an enforcement order, what would it just be, like, just a letter?
A letter, basically just maybe amplifying what the engineering department has already advised the property owner.
I make a motion that we write a letter to the resident at, what's the?
17 Newton Street.
17 Newton Street, reiterating,
Don't do that.
their,
Chemicals down the drain.
reiterating the
Bad.
policy, like explicitly what they've done
Like any
is
chemicals.
against, yes.
Letting them know that any chemicals down that storm drain is bad.
Yes, water, stormwater should be the only thing going down that.
Agreed. Okay.
And that penalties would follow any further
Okay, is there a second?
recurrence.
I second.
Okay, is there any other discussion? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? It's a vote. All right, I will do a letter. And then finally, is there any other new business? There being none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion
Oh,
to
wait,
adjourn.
sorry, wait, didn't we need to vote on the determination of?
We did.
Oh, we did?
Yeah,
Wow, I just spaced out. Okay, never
Okay.
mind.
we're good.
I'm sorry, I was distracted.
No worries.
A lot of
You
things
were
happening.
full
A lot
of
of things happening.
It was a busy night.
outrage because of 17 Newton Street.
Fair enough.
And so, all right, if there's no new business, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
Is there a
Second
second?
that.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? It's a vote.
This conference is no longer being recorded.